Hello everyone, this is Dion Soul. I hope everyone is doing well, and as you see before you, it's dark. And the reason why it is dark because it is 6:24 in the morning, at least where my airplane is sitting at. Of course, here in the real world where I'm sitting at, it's 4:24 in the morning here on the 20th of June 2019. And what we're going to be doing today is, as you can see in the information card up in the top left-hand corner, is that we're going to be flying from Albuquerque, New Mexico to Sedona. I found a little trek there to be able to go back and forth and make a little bit of scratch for the company on FSEconomy, along with me making money, so I can continue my my struggle, I guess you could say, to be able to get the maximum airports, mainly to grow the business up more than anything. But today, so we're going to go ahead and do this flight today. Nothing special. I am in the course of this video. I did get asked by Clayton Henshaw. I'll give a shout out to Clayton Henshaw. Definitely appreciate him asking the question. He was asking if I could go a little bit more in depth, in detail, with the KFC 300, the Kentucky Fried Chicken 300 autopilot. And I did some research. And basically this video is to you, Clayton, is that I did a little research on it. I actually found a owner's manual of the KFC 300, the real one, and my eyes just glassed over, to be honest with you. It was quite in depth, and now I don't know how much of the real world they are doing in the sim, which is I think it's just the basic functions, and I think most people are having problems with is the indicated airspeed climb and descend. For me, I don't, to be frankly blunt and honest with you, Clayton, I don't know much about it because I'm using my SciTech autopilot panel, and so it overrides what's in the sim to be. It has the same data riffs and the same mapped buttons on the autopilot, on the XHI, sorry, the SciTech autopilot. And so because I'm so used to using that, and it's easier to use, I don't really mess with inside of it very much. But the times that I do when it does get off track, where it doesn't, I just hit the autopilot button, and then it starts to follow the course and everything else. I have noticed from time to time that X-Plane, and at least with this beta 3.5 or beta 2 on 3.5, it loses pitch. And I end up having to basically set it to VS mode and have the VS mode set at 0 to be able to stay at a elevation that I want to, at an altitude that I want to. It doesn't happen very often. When I restart the sim, everything is fine. I'll do a flight from point A to point B, and I have no issues. But if I stop the flight, or if I go for a long period of time, or I switch airplanes, or whatever the case may be, switch an airplane and then come back, then the autopilot is just all jacked up, and in the context of altitude. And it's just something that has to do with the SASL and that sort of thing, or the fact that I'm running a beta. That could be the issue. I really don't know. So Clayton, to answer your question, with probably you know more about it than I do, because again, I'm using my SciTech stuff that is outside the sim to, and that's why I bought it. I bought the SciTech autopilot to be used, and obviously, and so I take advantage of it. So that's why I don't really too concern myself on the actual model itself. Unless it's something really special. But I did, like I said, I did make the effort in finding a file, or a PDF file. It's in my history. I was dabbling through it, and again, it was really cool, the information that this PDF had on the real world KFC 300. But it was more than I could ever begin to know. Unless of course I was flying for real, then of course I'd be studying that, and I'd be studying everything about the airplane, because it's our lives are on the line when you're in the air for real. But because we're in a sim, it's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. As long as I can get in the air and fly around and that sort of thing, and try to add a little bit more depth and detail as I go along, it's all good. So anyway, so to answer to your question there, Clayton, long-winded question, a long-winded answer, and I apologize. That yeah, I don't know much about the KFC 350 other than it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, and that I use my SciTech autopilot, which I highly recommend. Yes, it costs $99 or $129 or something like that. Unless something out there is better for the same price, then of course you get that. I'm slowly trying to move away from my SciTech equipment because, to be frankly blunt and honest with you, SciTech equipment is cheap. It's cheaply made. It does the job. It functions. I guess I really can't complain because I've already had it now for 5 years, or since 2015, and here we are coming to 2020. So I've had it for at least 4 years now, because it's 2019, and it's worked. I've already had to replace my switch panel twice, and I'm on my second switch panel. And the only thing I use the switch panel for is my landing gear. Everything else, for some reason, the switches start to not work shortly after I install it. I don't know if it's my motherboard is giving it too much voltage or too less voltage or whatever the case may be, but that seems to be the only problem with SciTech, is their switch panel sucks. It's just not very good. They just don't work for me in my system anyway. For others it may work just fine, and I'll give it a shot again once I get a new computer one day eventually. But anyway, so I'm rambling way too much here, and you guys are probably bored as hell, so we're just going to go ahead, and I'm also stalling because I'm just admiring the sunrise, and now you're starting to see some gleam, some shimmer, or some gleam coming off of the as the sun is coming up here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and sign on my flashlight here, and we'll go ahead and get on inside. And that quick little tidbit of information, if you mouse over the also talking kind of quiet here because my wife or my family is sleeping right now, so I don't want to wake them up. My wife hasn't gone to work, but yeah, the rest of my family is. But anyway, mousing over the mouse wheel, you can control the visibility of the Carenado, and there is the KFC 300 right there as well. I mean, you can just hit flight director and turn that on and turn that off and all this sort of thing, and it all works fine. Setting the speed preference, or the indicated airspeed is what I use, and how it's designed is it's designed to where you're pitching up, and then once you get to the desired speed to climb, then you just hit the indicated airspeed, and then it will follow it, so, which is kind of cool. It works out pretty well. And then on the outside here, you can change the heading. We're going to be taking off at runway 22, so I'm going to go ahead and put this at runway 22. And then of course your pitch trim, which you click here and here, click up and down right here. At least I don't know about it. It doesn't appear to be. Yeah, it appears to be doing something there. So click up and click down on the pitch trim right here. But once you get the pitch trim the way you want it, or the pitch the way you want it, then you just hit indicated airspeed, and then it's going to hold it. It doesn't give you any, at least I don't think it does. I'll have to look inside the airplane, because there is a spot inside the airplane that shows things. So let me go ahead and get on inside here. We'll find out real quick. And we'll go ahead and pop inside. And I don't know why people are not flying the airplane. Like you said, Clayton, in your text there. I don't know why I'm the only one doing the videos on it, because I like the airplane. The airplane's a cool airplane. If somebody offered to me in the real world and said, "Hey, Dion, I know you don't know how to fly in the real world, but what we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to fly this airplane, and I'm going to pay for all the fuel and all the glass panel," and if somebody offered that to me, then of course I would take it, and especially if we can eventually work to make money at it, that would be awesome. I'd definitely take advantage of it. Go ahead and turn that off right there, and you see we got 22 volts. So let's go ahead and turn the GPU on, and we'll go ahead and, if I can get the switch to go, there it goes, GPU, and then we'll go ahead and get power here without having to consume the batteries. Go ahead and turn everything else up, because this morning beacon light is already on, position lights will turn on. I think we're good to go there for now. I still don't know what this is right here. Let me jump back here. Sorry about that. I still don't know what this is right here. This dimmer switch. I mean, obviously it's a dimmer switch. You can dimmer and then off and then bright. I don't see, any change in anything. I thought it might have been, dimming and increasing the intensity of the light, on the cockpit. And oh, by the way, this cockpit is now black. I stumbled across a person who is selling their talents in making liveries for various airplanes. And I'm sure this person, he's a person in Brazil, and I have it in my history on my Firefox. I have it in my history, but I saw that he made a black panel, which is kind of cool, but at nighttime it's not necessarily a good thing. I'd rather have a tan or a lightly colored panel for nighttime flying, so then that way you can see things better. The light, from the light sources kind of bounces off a little better, but it's not bad. Daylight time it's going to be fine. So let me go ahead and turn on the. Because we're not starting anything yet, we're going to go ahead and get the Garmin GTN 750 going here. Yeah, I was watching a video yesterday as well that had a person in the real world had two GTN 750s, one right here and one down here. And let me go ahead and turn my microphone on here, or my capture cursor. And so now if I mouse over this, now I get a cursor. Okay. Anyway, I had two GTN 750s sitting right here, which is awesome. And then the guy was using one for doing all the work, and then the other one was just for reference and whatnot. And it was really pretty cool. It was really neat stuff. I was really liking it. Also, I've been reading the POH. I've also found a real-world POH for this airplane, and it's been kind of dabbling my toes into the airplane a little bit at a time, just to kind of pick up on things, and that's how I learn anyway, is by trial and error. Because if I just sit there and just read the book from start to finish, I'll read it for about 5 minutes and say, "F this, I don't want to deal with this." But if I read it in snippets and then just find little things here and there, like I got that POH to try to find out what this switch does in the real world anyway. And you also notice that I've got 38 hours into this airplane, and before the version 1.2 update I did have 53 hours in the airplane. Again, I hope somebody in the comments section below can tell me how or what file it is that retains the Hobbs meter, because I would like to be able to retain the Hobbs meter. Matter of fact, I'd like to take this Hobbs meter and add the 53 hours that I've already got in this airplane that I lost when I switched from version 1.0 to version 1.2. That would be nice. But it is what it is. When you with airplanes are different than here, and it's different in the real world. Also, there is a logic to turning on the bus, and I still have not found it yet. But there is normal procedures, and I'll get it eventually. I think it's set in normal procedures when to turn those on and whatnot, and that sort of thing. But it was the POH was based on. Now the POH I downloaded, by the way, was the Cheyenne 2 XL is the one I downloaded. Or was it the 400? It might have been the 400. I stand corrected. It was the 400. And the Cheyenne 2 400 wasn't that much different. It has auto ignition, so you just turn it on and let it go. And it also talked about bleed airs and the bleed air switches and whatnot. In this airplane, we don't have bleed air switches. At least I haven't found it. Anyway, and I don't know if these are it, because it doesn't really. It just says master and whatnot. I don't know. These may see, this is cabin comfort and stuff, but it doesn't really say. I was assuming these are just for turning on your fan and stuff, and then this right here was just automatic mode, just to control the temperature, either AC or heater or dehumidify the environment. Still, I'm still kind of funny on this heather fuel, because I have absolutely no idea what a heather fuel is. Heater fuel I can understand, but not a heather fuel, so don't know about that one. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and set everything up here and then get ready to go. And again, like I said, Clayton, this right here, I don't really use this all that much. I just use my SciTech stuff on the outside. And once I do that, then, I'm good to go. So I need to put this right around, and right about here is where I take off at. Let me go over here where it says up right here. If I go a little more, I guess that's neutral, but in up, I found that I take off right along in here, and most of the time I don't even use flaps. On my SciTech, or on my XHSI stuff, it says my pitch trim is up as 1.8. If I go way over here to 2, now we're at 3.9 on my SciTech or on my XHSI system that's outside the sim. But anyway, right there is usually where I have my nose rail trim, is right there, just a little bit past neutral and up a little bit. And that's all I really need, The airplane takes care of itself. So anywho, let me go ahead and get ready to go here. As it's slowly getting lighter and lighter, we're starting to see more and more stuff, which is good. I'll go ahead and open this up right here with version 1.2. I do like the fact that this pops out now, and I can go ahead and set this and set that, and I'll cycle through. See, if I didn't have the GTN 750, this would be extremely handy, but because I got the GTN 750, I don't really need it, except for the weather. Weather's good. And there's where all of our mountains are all around us. Oh my. And let's see here. We need to go right about. Hey, this thing's flipping me off. WTF. Okay, there we go. So there we go. That's the position I want. So then that way my XHSI stuff, everything is the same. Right around 10 miles here, but 20 miles on my 20-mile range on my XHSI stuff. So let me go ahead and get set up here, and we'll get ready to go. Everything is done. Everything looks good. I'll go ahead and start my FSEconomy flight right here, putting 275 gallons with four assignments, but we do have 7 passengers in the aircraft today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start these engines. Alright, so what we're going to do is it's 12% and not 20%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in right along in here, and the NG is right here on this. When it gets to 12%, which you're not going to see because I got to be able to see the start here. It says in the POH to turn on one of the pumps, and then the ignition, and then go ahead and hit the starter button. And this gets up to 12%, which is really fast, and then introduce fuel. And it says it goes all the way up to 1,000 on our ITTO. It's supposed to go all the way up to briefly to 1,012 and Celsius. And with the auto start with the XL, you actually with the auto start with the XL is that you just turn one. You don't have these 2 buttons here. You just have the one button for you know, the ignition start, and it does it all automatically, and you don't have to mess with it. We do leave one of the pumps on, either pumps 1 or pumps 2, but you leave them on until after you take off, and once you get in the air, then you can turn off the pump. So we'll just leave the pump on. We'll go ahead, and now that we've got the generator on, you can see we got load on the generator. I get light enough now, I don't need my flashlight anymore. So we will go ahead and get rid of the GPU. GPU is now gone, and we'll go ahead and start engine number 1. Get to 12%, introduce fuel. See, that one's going to be a hotter start because but it's going to go all the way up to 1,000, which it never did. But and then we wait. Oops. I'm going to zoom back out of my mouse. There we go. Okay, so now we are starting to settle down, and then we'll go ahead and turn on the generator. Now the generator is even across both. We've got 28 volts plus, so we're good to go there. Turn on our taxi light. Good to go there. Everything is on. Everything is looking good. All our other switches are on. These are on. Pressurization. We're only going to be going 12,500 feet. So, but Sedona is 4,000. So we'll just go ahead and put our altitude at 4,000 for Sedona. I believe it was 4,000 feet. Sedona is 4,800, so it's 5,000 feet. So let's go ahead and put Sedona for 5,000 feet, and there you go. So that takes care of that. And get back to where I needed to be there. All right. So we are good to go. Autopilot is already set and ready to go. 12,500 feet. We're going to have a lot of wind. We're going to have a lot of headwind in our face. So I'm just, let's see, headwind right now at this particular, at 10,000 feet. Actually, it's tailwind. Excuse me as I'm burping here. I apologize. 14,000 feet. We're at 291. So once we get up in the flight levels, 14,000 to 19,000. That's when the wind, according to FS Global Real World Weather, is saying that 280, 290 at 21,000 feet at 18 knots, or at 23 knots at between 14,000 and 19,000. We've got we've got a 23 knot headwind. So we're going to stay low, and so we're going to try to avoid that headwind if we can. And our altimeter is 3004. So we'll go ahead and put 3004 into this. 3004. There we go. All right. So that takes care of that. And let's go ahead and rock and roll just about. And just to say that we are currently sitting right here, and then we'll hit the waypoint, which would be Higma, I guess, is right here, and then direct to using Victor Airways 12 all the way to and through all the way to Oaks, which is right there. So it's automatically took us all the way to Oaks.
Double Eagle 2 information echo. 1100 Zulu weather.
Alrighty.
And variable. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 13. Dew point -3. Altimeter 3006. Arriving runways 2217. Departing runways 2217. Advise on initial contact you have echo.
Okay, everything is on. Everything looks good. We're at runway 22. Sun is rising.
1100
Okay,
Zulu weather.
screenshot time.
Wind light and variable. Visibility
Of
more.
course, I get rid of the damn,
Sky clear.
get rid of high diff.
13, dew point -3. Altimeter 30.
I can get rid of my mouse, but anyway, that's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, just hit it. On, everything ready to go. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. God have mercy on our soul. Should be taking off real soon there, and there it goes. We are getting light. Gear up, positive rate. Start taking a nose trim down to 0. Turn the airplane just a little bit, gain a little bit of speed. Engage autopilot. Autopilot is now engaged. I'm going to be climbing at... They say in the instructions that, 200 or 150 knot climb is fine, but I can get away with 130 with no problem, at least in the sim anyway. Go ahead and get rid of those lights. Recognition lights I'll leave on until we get above 10,000 feet. And we are just climbing. Another glorious day in the neighborhood. Increase our speed to 160 knots. Climb. Temperature's looking good. Climbing like crazy. We got a 29 knot headwind right now. So we're not getting there anytime soon. That's for sure. Okay, it should start to settle out. Captured the yep, as usual, we got a 30 knot headwind. Did not turn on our prop sync. Come on. Turn on for me, there you go. right around 95, 105, I think it was, or 100, 105, something like that. I think at like 90, that's when I lose control, or I lose, just fall like a rock. So, we'll just shake, rattle, and roll, and just still stay, come on down. Swig of coffee for the working man. Nope, I do not want to declare a missed approach because so far so good. We're coming right on down like we're supposed to. I've got to turn off my prop sync. I went too far. There we go. Get it recover. Below 40 knots, you don't want to. You don't want to leave your reversers on for too long. Then the props get screwed up, and then you can't go forward anymore after you release. After you go back out of beta. So what you do is you pull back on your props, and then you get it back. Kind of a pain. All right, but we are in Sedona, Sedona, Arizona. We'll find ourselves a little place to park here. Guess I can park right straight ahead, I guess. As spot as any, I guess. There. Brakes are set. GPU on. Keel power. Props to feather. Off. Generators off. No, we don't want to start. And recognition lights off. Leave those on for the turnaround flight. I think we are good to go, so I can go ahead and finish this flight. And boom. Flight is now complete. And then I need to go over here like this, and we made it here. SimBuddy, what do they say? They said my sync rate for this flight does not say. It says my average sync rate's 377. That's because of all the other airplanes in the past. I'd have to go look, but that's all right. Let's go over here. The more importantly, and that's this right here. Refresh. And now we've got 2 seats available, so we can add some peeps. I missed one. Oh well. So let's go ahead and cancel that one out, because we are going to, we got 5 people, so let's add 2 more people, and then we'll fly back to, so let's go to Sedona. Okay, boom, boom, Sedona. Okay. We can only add 2 people here, so how am I going to work this out? I'll just add 1, and then we'll figure it out. My flights. Okay, now we've got, so if I go 6, I'd be 8. I got no choice, but because the only thing was left was 3 passengers. 3, 6, 9. I can't do that. It's not going to accept it. So I am kind of stuck going with, I can go 6. So that's all I can do. Go with 6. Is that 5? Then I have too many. So yep. So that's all we can do. We can do is 4,000. All right. Well, then that was set up for the next flight, so we can do the return flight here in a few minutes. I'll do that in another video. So anyway, I appreciate everyone watching. Is most appreciative. And definitely like, subscribe, and all that other happy stuff. And we'll do all this again here on the next exciting X-Plane adventures. I'll catch you guys next time. Later, guys. Bye.